in your gut sense that you need to make a change, but you just feel stuck. Maybe it's about your career or something in your personal life or even an organization you're trying to lead. Well, today we're going to dig into that feeling and look at a really powerful way to get unstuck and finally start moving forward. All right, let's jump right in. So let's just start with this. It's a super direct question. This isn't about what you think you should do or what everyone else wants you to do. This is about listening to that deep internal voice. And if the answer is yes, then the real question becomes, are you actually doing anything about it? If not, trust me, you are in very good company. Because, you see, knowing a change is needed and actually making the change, they can feel like two completely different universes. There's this huge gap between our intention and our action. And what fills that gap? Well, it's something we can call resistance. It's this invisible force that keeps us planted right where we are, even when every fiber of our being wants to be somewhere else. Now, here's the really sneaky thing about resistance. It almost never looks like procrastination or laziness. Oh no, it's much smarter than that. It disguises itself as being productive. We tell ourselves, I'm just assessing the situation, or I need to do a little more research, or my personal favorite, I'm just getting my ducks in a row. Sound familiar? It feels like you're making progress, but really it's just a fancy way of holding yourself back. So why on earth do we do this to ourselves? Well, the reasons are usually pretty deep and personal. For a lot of us, it's a straight-up fear of failure. For others, it's a lack of clarity, like you don't even know what that next step really looks like. And then, of course, there are those voices in our head, you know the ones that whisper, it's not possible, or you can't do that. All of that stuff creates this incredibly powerful inertia that's really tough to break. So, how do we break through all that? Well, the answer isn't some complicated new plan or a shiny new app. The real thinking behind this framework is that lasting transformation, the real deal, begins somewhere a lot closer to home. It starts right inside our own minds. And this quote it nails it. It's not about having a perfect 10-point strategy before you start. The absolute key to getting that ball rolling is a simple but really profound shift in your mindset. That's the first domino that has to fall. Okay, so we know we need a mindset shift. Great. But how? How do you actually do that? Well, this is where we get into the practical side of things. We're going to walk through a toolkit, a set of 5 guiding questions designed to help you make that shift happen. Here they are, just at a glance. We're going to look at the good stuff, the not so good stuff, how it affects other people, what our own limiting beliefs are, and this is the big one, how to go out and actively disprove those beliefs. It forces you to look at the change from every single angle. So the first 2 questions are this really powerful 1-2 punch. Question 1 is usually the easy part, right? What are all the great things that will happen? But question 2, that's where the real work is. You have to be brutally honest with yourself here. Is this change going to mean more work, more responsibility, maybe more visibility that you're not totally comfortable with? You have to acknowledge the potential downsides to really understand what you're up against. Question 3 is about shifting our focus from me to we. How will this help other people? But look closely at that second part of the question. It brings it right back to you. It's not enough to say it'll help your family or your team. You have to understand why their benefit matters to you on a personal level. That's how you connect your change to a deeper sense of purpose. All right, now for question 4. This is where you get to give those nagging voices in your head a name. Just let it all out. Write down every single barrier, every fear, every assumption that's telling you this can't be done. The point isn't to believe them. The point is to get them out in the open so we can finally deal with them. Because once you have that list of barriers sitting right in front of you, the whole game changes. The goal is no longer to be scared of them or to let them run the show. The goal is to actively challenge them. We're making a conscious move from a state of accepting barriers to a state of building new, more powerful beliefs. And that brings us to the 5th and final question, which, let's be honest, is more of a command. For every single one of those barriers you just wrote down, your new mission is to go out and find cold, hard, real-world evidence that proves it wrong. This is an active investigation. You're a detective on the case for your own potential. So, how do you actually find this evidence? Well, you've got to push yourself. You have to challenge your own assumptions, get out of your comfort zone, and look for examples of people who've done what you want to do, maybe against all odds. You have to question the best practices that might be holding you in place. It all comes down to consciously choosing to entertain thoughts that open up possibilities instead of shutting them down. See, when you go through this whole 5-question process, you're doing so much more than just making a plan. You are fundamentally rewiring your brain. You are building an evidence-backed case for your own success, and that is what gives you the confidence to finally take that leap forward. If you take just one thing away today, let it be this. It's really a 2-step formula for change. First, you have to consciously choose to believe in a new possibility. And second, you have to do the work to go out and find the proof that makes that belief unshakable. This final quote just captures the whole spirit of it, doesn't it? It's not about being perfect. It's about starting. It's about moving forward. So I'll leave you with this question. What's just one barrier you can start finding evidence against today? Take that leap, ask for help if you need it, and go have the impact you are absolutely meant to achieve.